I mean, obviously disappointing loss the last home game. Thought we'd get better effort than we did. Got to give Texas A&M a ton of credit. You know, they went through a lot of losing in the month of February. For them to still be together and playing as hard as they are says a lot about the job that their staff's doing, the character of their players. So give A&M a ton of credit. I mean, they out-rebounded us. They turned us over 19 times, mainly the effort, the tough stuff they beat us on. So second chance points were 13-2, points off turnovers. They had 29 points off our turnovers. You know, we turned the ball over 19 times, and it's going to be hard. I mean, keys going to the game, we're going to be our defense needed to be good so we could play in transition on offense. Our defense was a disaster in the second half, giving up 50 points. We had to take care of the balls, take care of the ball. We turned it over 19 times, didn't do that, and then we needed to rebound the ball better. We got 6-0 boards and, you know, only 2 second chance points. They got 13 points off second chance points, and we lost the rebounding battle by 9 and it ended up with 24 rebounds, which was a season low. So didn't do a good job. Any of this stuff we tried to stress. I got to figure out a better way to motivate, better group to put on the floor. We got to figure out a better group to start the second half. We've been starting the second half poorly, coming out of the half without enough energy. So disappointing loss. We got to regroup, play much better at LSU, see if we can't get on a run in the SEC tournament.
Yeah, I mean, what was your message to the team in the locker room after the game?
The end's going to come quick if this is the effort we get. I mean, we're as good as our effort is. And be really disappointing for some of these guys to end their career here at Alabama with these type of losses. You know, this little disappointing that we've had pretty good crowd support. You know, I reminded them of how great the crowd was at Baylor, and we had pretty good student section tonight. Like, we can't play hard for, you know, it'd be nice if they'd play hard for each other. I don't know what motivates some of them. So my message was we got to figure out what we got to do to get this team playing hard every night. And I've as the head coach, that's on me. And I got to figure out a better way to motivate them to play hard because our effort's been really inconsistent at times this year.
What are you looking for in a moment like that when those longer team after a game like this, like the team meetings, the message? What are you looking for feedback from them, from players? Are you know?
They didn't say anything tonight. They might have said some stuff before I got in there. I didn't say anything. I mean, it's open for them to say something. Nobody wanted to say anything. I think they're embarrassed too. I'm embarrassed. They're embarrassed. I think the assistants talked to him after I left, so I don't know what assistants all said, but yeah, I you know, I don't have an answer on some of that stuff.
Coach, apart from the game tonight, you just finished up your third home schedule. What are your thoughts as you look back the last 3 years about the way the home atmosphere has developed since you got here? You know what?
Like last year with the COVID year, it was a little different, obviously not being able to put in. But this year, you know, we had a good year, our year two, didn't lose a home game in conference, that is. So then, you know, we had a pretty long home winning streak. I thought our non-conference home crowds were really good this year compared to year one. I think we'd proven that we could put this program on a national level, and we did. Then, you know, think about the Auburn game at home. Even the Auburn game at home, our first year, place I think was sold out. You know, we upset them. This place will really support basketball if you win, and we've been winning for the most part. Tonight's obviously not one of our better nights, but I thought the student section has been great. You go back and look at the Baylor game, you know, just over a month ago. I thought it was unbelievable atmosphere. I think Alabama's a place where they will support basketball at a high level. We've seen it this year. Just we've been so up and down with our wins and losses and our effort that, you know, I think if we could have maintained a higher effort, maybe you get a few more sellouts here late. But even tonight, I thought, you know, it was a late arriving crowd. I would guess with the 6 o'clock game, but student section looked pretty full, and they we go back to the Mississippi State game at home, even though it wasn't sold out or anything, they were loud as can be for the last 8 minutes of that game. So crowd's been good. I think our crowd support's been really good. I think the guys feed off the energy, and obviously with them planning to build a new arena here in the next few years, I think with a smaller arena they can hopefully sell this thing out about every night. So I think Alabama's a place that sports basketball. I think they've shown that over the 3 years I've been here.
Coach, I know this year has been, as you said, up and down, and this group has seemed to be harder to reach than your other two. You were laying the foundation in year one. Last year you had a veteran group. What has been the issue in your mind with the competitive character of this group not playing as hard as you would like, day in and day out?
I think the best teams in any sport are player-led teams. Like when you've got like a strong leadership, like we miss Herb Jones on the floor a lot. Like, it's great. He's playing great in the NBA. He's a really good player, but we miss his leadership, a lot too. We had guys like Bruner who'd stepped up and talked, even though he was only 1 year. He had no problem speaking. John Petty spoke. You think of the guy, even Reese. Reese showed how much he cared about his team by just his actions, and he didn't speak a lot, but when he spoke, it meant something because he was putting the team in front of him all the time. There's just, we've got some guys that are trying to lead. I think Rojas has really tried to. He's competitive. He's fiery. He's trying to speak up and be a leader. Other guys, it seems like maybe sometimes their leadership. When they're playing well, it's easier to be a better leader, and they're willing to talk. Sometimes you gotta, even if you're not maybe playing well, yourself, as long as you're playing hard, you can still speak. And we've tried to get that across. I've got to do a better job building leaders, helping them to become leaders, and that's where I've somewhat failed this team a little bit, to be honest with you, because we don't have as good a internal leadership as we've had in the past, and we need, to be honest with you.
You mentioned the turnovers in your opening. Just how frustrating is that to be a consistent issue? And this late in the season, how do you go about trying to clean those up?
Yeah, the turnovers are really frustrating because we've got good guards. And to me, it's like I told them, when you're locked in, you're locked in. You're locked in on defense. You're locked in on offense. You step to the free throw line. You make free throws. You take care of the ball. You don't just throw the ball out of bounds. When you're not locked in, you're not locked in. We got to figure out how to get these guys locked in because we should not be turning the ball over at the rate we are with the skill level of our guards. And when you look at the turnovers, it's a lot of guys have them, but it's mainly our guards. You look like, if you count Darius as one of the guards, it's, what is that? 16 of the 19 turnovers came from perimeter players. If you throw Darius in that mix, he's really more of a 3. Sometimes we play him as a combo guard, which to me is unacceptable. So we've got to do a better job. They got to get locked into both sides of the ball, to be honest with you.
Talking a little trash on the field? Yeah, we get it. Trashing the state with litter? That's terrible. Keep it clean. Keep Alabama beautiful.